For the past several months, your team has been working tirelessly to implement a particular application on the ServiceNow platform. Overall, the project has been mostly smooth and without any major issues. Tomorrow is your go live, and while you're slightly nervous, you're confident that the application has been configured appropriately and you've addressed and implemented all in-scope requirements. The go-live then takes place, and other than a few small changes that were needed, people directly around you consider it a success. The champagne bottles are popped, and you enjoy your slice of the go-live cake. Fast forward 3 months, and that honeymoon period is worn off. The demand queue is overflowing. Your team is being asked to implement all sorts of enhancement requests, and much to your surprise, some of what's being asked for almost seems to undo a portion of the work that was done previously. You start hearing that the platform owner is being grilled by the CIO as to why X, Y, and Z was not done. So what's going on, and how did this end up happening? Hi, my name is Alan Andreas, and welcome to Alanovation. If you enjoy ServiceNow content, be sure to subscribe to our channel and leave a comment below letting us know what success means to you when you're involved with a ServiceNow project. For those of you who have been on a ServiceNow implementation project before, take a moment and think back to those instances. Can you recall if the relevant business objectives and challenges of that organization were shared with you? Do you know how the solution you implemented truly helped that organization beyond just a basic implementation? Furthermore, what business outcomes did your implementation enable? And lastly, what metrics would the business track for value realization? You see, this is where there's a huge gap in the ServiceNow ecosystem. It seems that most of the time, the project team and others closely involved don't know or don't focus on the true business reason why the organization purchased ServiceNow or purchased a new ServiceNow application. Sure, we know that the product works and it has a good reputation, and so by default, the business gets that basic level of value, but the true definition of success and what it means to the business tends to get lost during the project. What ends up happening is that the individuals involved with the implementation just work towards their own definition of success based on their persona. If you're involved with sales, success to you may mean that you closed the deal. If you're a project manager, it could mean that you delivered all milestones outlined on time. If you're the business analyst, success to you may mean that you've captured all the requirements. If you're a developer, completing all stories with no defects remaining probably looks like success to you. Due to the varying personas involved in any given ServiceNow project, and most of the time those resources are coming from an external entity, such as a ServiceNow partner, there's a lot of ambiguity in what the definition of success looks like as the overall process moves from sales to delivery and so on. It's crucial for all individuals engaged in the project to comprehend not only their own tactical definition of success, what they're responsible for, but to also be cognizant of the business definition of success which sits at the strategical level. This multi-dimensional comprehension is what I like to call success awareness. When we're talking about success, we're also talking about value, as that's what the organization ultimately wants from ServiceNow. What value is being brought to the organization by their purchase? ServiceNow partners also need to be thinking about their unique value add. What additional value are you providing your client that differentiates you from others? It costs nothing and requires very little effort to ensure that all participants are aware of what success means to the organization and communicating that to everyone involved so that they're all on the same page will greatly increase the chance that the desired business outcomes will be realized. So, how can you directly help? One of the biggest ways to get involved is to simply ask for more information related to those business objectives and outcomes if they aren't shared with you. This information should be centrally focused during most meetings, especially workshops, design shops, and requirement gathering sessions. Doing so will provide consistent messaging that the business needs are the driving force, enhanced collaboration between the project team and stakeholders. The project team is empowered to make informed decisions because they're aware of what the major goals are and the context. More efficient and relevant processes are created as they target the real problems. There's a significant increase in the quality of project deliverables as they enable business outcomes. And now that you've implemented a solution that addresses their challenges and achieves their objectives by enabling their outcomes to be realized, thus resulting in the real definition of success. As you can see, in the end, everyone wins. The business gets what they truly wanted from the platform, and the implementation team can say that they achieved ultimate success in their delivery. To help you understand how a business comes up with their business objectives in the first place, let's take a look at the strategic planning process. The strategic planning process involves identifying the organization's mission, vision, values, and goals, and developing a plan to achieve those goals. Let's break down the process and look at each step. The organization defines its mission and vision, which provides the basis for all its business objectives. The mission describes the organization's purpose and the value it provides to its customers, while the vision describes the organization's long-term aspirations. The organization conducts a SWOT analysis to identify its strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This analysis helps the organization identify areas where it can excel and the challenges it may face in achieving its goals. Based on the mission and vision, the organization defines its goals and objectives. The goals are the broad outcomes the organizations want to achieve, while the objectives are the specific measurable steps that will be taken to achieve those goals. The organization develops an action plan that outlines the specific activities that will be undertaken to achieve the objective. The action plan includes timelines and resource requirements, as well as metrics for measuring progress. The organization implements the action plan and regularly evaluates progress towards the objectives. Adjustments may be needed as based on the evaluation of those results. Now that the business objectives have been established, when an organization decides that they need a new tool, such as ServiceNow, or in addition to a tool they're already using, such as adding HR to their ServiceNow investment, the organizational process usually requires the creation of a business case. A business case will outline the rationale for a particular project or initiative and help demonstrate how that project or initiative will achieve the organization's objectives. This is accomplished by helping the organization clearly define the problem they are trying to solve or the opportunity they are trying to pursue. It lays out the current situation, the desired future state, and the gap that needs to be bridged. This ensures that everyone involved in the decision-making process understands the problem and the proposed solution. An analysis of the proposed solution should highlight its alignment with the broader business objectives of the organization. This ensures that the solution is not only technically feasible, but also supports the strategic goals of the organization. Conducting a cost-benefit analysis of the proposed solution enables an organization to evaluate the financial viability of the project. This analysis provides an assessment related to the costs associated with implementing the solution against the expected benefits, including the potential return on investment, otherwise known as ROI, An organization can then determine whether the proposed solution is financially feasible and likely to produce a positive ROI. A business case provides a structured and analytical approach to decision making. It lays out all of the options and evaluates the pros and cons of each. It recommends the best course of action as well, based on the analysis. This helps ensure that decisions are made based on objective criteria rather than subjective opinions. It also increases stakeholder buy-in and support for the proposed solution, as it provides a clear and compelling rationale for why the proposed solution is needed and how it will benefit the organization. This helps ensure that stakeholders are committed to the success of the project and are willing to provide the necessary resources and support. So, you've learned what business objectives are and where they come from. You've also learned how to build a business case which would relate specific business objectives to the project you're working on. As an added bonus, I'll include a link to an example business case using the business objective where we want to improve customer service and have chosen the ServiceNow platform. To properly monitor the outcomes mentioned in the example business case, the organization may need to track several submetrics related to things such as customer satisfaction score, otherwise known as CSAT, first call resolution rate, or FCR, mean time to resolve, otherwise known as MTTR, or service level agreement compliance, SLA compliance, cost per ticket, and number of incidents. Those are the metrics that would be appropriate to display on persona-specific dashboards, allowing those individuals to easily keep an eye on critically important metrics to ensure things are moving in the right direction. We hope you can now understand why the most important definition of success is what it means to the business, and why you should ensure that everyone else involved in the initiative are aware of those business objectives, challenges, and outcomes desired. What success means to your role is still critically important, but also knowing what it means to the business ensures that you've achieved proper success awareness on that multi-dimensional level. I sincerely appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and if you enjoy ServiceNow content like this, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with others. Once again, my name is Alan Andreas, host of Allen Ovation, and until next time, take care.